What's up, everybody? It's Roger and Victoria here from the DisKingdom podcast, and in this episode, we are going to be talking about Donald Trump and his sort of inclusion into the Hall of Presidents in Walt Disney World into the attraction. So, Victoria, you wrote the story about this, which came out about a week ago or so. But what did you think of? What was the, sort of the story all about with this one?
Well, obviously, since President Trump, I'll be nice. Since President Trump got elected, it's been a question of will or will he not have speaking parts in the Hall of Presidents, because since Bill Clinton, every president has had a speaking role in that attraction. So it was really a matter of will he have a speaking part or not? And basically a few sources has been saying that no, he won't be given a speaking part. We'll have maybe a president of the past like Washington or Lincoln speak rather than have him speak. It hasn't been confirmed, but we haven't heard any announcements from Disney. So
yeah, I mean, first off, let's say, I am from the UK. As far as I'm concerned, Donald Trump was, he was from The Apprentice, and I remember seeing him in person at WrestleMania 20. So, my knowledge of him is slightly different, and obviously, it's a little bit different for me because it doesn't as generally affect me as much. But I can see how sort of even over here, we know how much torn America is over it. Very, the same kind of system to Brexit here. But I think from Disney's point of view, they will want to stay away from any controversy. This is going to be controversial enough for the rest of the existence of this attraction. So not having him talk, while it might upset people that maybe voted for him and are on his team, there's a lot of people that aren't on there, and it's very, very controversial. So I can see from their point of view at the minute, it might be like, right, it's just not worth the effort. It's not worth, not every single president in their talks. We're just going to leave it alone and just try and just edge this one out and just ride along with it. Also, I am going to actually kind of say here, I've never actually been in and seen this show in 7 visits to Walt Disney World, because I will be honest, I have no interest in it. I didn't even know it was there probably for my first 2 visits. The fact of going in and seeing a Hall of Presidents, I'm like, okay, I really have got. It's almost a weird thing of I have no knowledge really of this attraction until this whole thing with Donald Trump really blew up. I didn't really know what this so much was, because it's not an attraction that appeals to people that don't really understand American politics, and it's not a thing for us really to kind of be interested in.
I can kind of see that. I mean, it really goes back to Walt Disney himself and Disneyland. I don't know if you know about the Lincoln attraction in Disneyland. Lincoln was a role model of Disney's.
Yeah.
So when they built Disney World, they kind of wanted something on the same radar as Lincoln, and thus we have Hall of Presidents. But even a few American friends that I had one friend that worked Hall of Presidents. That's kind of the only reason I ever went into that ride.
See, I actually, for a while, I even thought it was over in the American area of Epcot. That's how little I paid any attention to it, because it just did not. You read it on the map, and it's like it never really. You're in Disney, and generally going to learn about history is not on the top priority. I'd go see the Muppet Show next time I'm there, but not the and it's
not that one.
Yeah,
I would do the same thing. I mean, the Muppet Show is hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, it's just this odd thing. I think as far as kind of, I mean, there was so much when Donald Trump originally got sort of inaugurated and sort of one of our top stories for a while was, I mean, it was that kind of thing like, well, we're going to have to put a story up because it's going to happen. But obviously there's a lot of feedback to it. A lot of people, like, not happen. It's like, and as someone that wasn't maybe as interconnected with it, it's like, well, they are going to have to close it down to put him in there. That's kind of what and it's the whole thing just stirs up so much controversy about this, but I can also see it from the other point of view of, well, he is the president, and he is, half the country voted for him, so that half will want him represented in it, and them not putting it in will alienate them, and if they put it in and they do him a speaking part, and they're going to alienate the other half. It's such a hard line on what to do.
Yeah, it's so hard. Disney was walking a thin line with that one, but like you said, they really didn't have much of a choice. I mean, he is the 45th president, so
Mm.
obviously he was gonna be added.
Mm.
However, I feel like adding him will appease those who voted for him, and him not speaking will
Yeah.
please the other half. So you get a balance. You're not picking
Yeah.
sides.
I mean, there's whole thing about, those petitions and stuff. I mean, there is the other side of thing of like, well, if he is, I mean, I personally would just love it if he, like, at some point he just went, "You're fired," but that's personally it's for my own entertainment. But or his hair just does this kind of thing. But generally, that's from an entertainment point of view. It's just so controversial, and I feel like in some ways, obviously, it's like sitting on the fence. I think in some way can maybe see it slightly more. I don't have that opinion so much on it, and I can't help but look at it and go, well, if everyone's in the last 10, 15 years has got a speaking role, maybe he should do too, whether or not it's simple. But at the same time, it's such a hard thing to do with this storyline. And there's going to be some people watching this that will be completely disagreeing, and there'll be some people that are completely agreeing, and it's so hit and miss on this one. It's very difficult to say.
Yeah, it's very. Actually, I did hear from a few people that says he actually declined to even record for a speaking role. But that wasn't confirmed, of course. But that's what I have been hearing as well. So he may have actually just chose not to. Yeah. In which case, everyone's happy either way. But
yeah, I mean, I think as well as it's that kind of situation. It's all different. It's all new, and from the point of view, I think, like Obama and stuff, there might be different connections to Disney. There might be obviously with what happened with him being the first black president and stuff, and there might be more of a reason why he wanted to do it, and maybe he's seen it in person and wanted it, whatever. It could be any number of reasons. But from a business point of view, from Disney, trying not to alienate, either way they're going to alienate people, so they need to they can just kind of go, well, he's in there, but we've not gone over the top on it. And obviously, there's 44 other robots in there, so they're not all talk, do they?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I can't remember if there's a finale where they all talk. Again, it's been super long since I've been in that attraction, but I'm probably gonna go in once it's finished refurbing and see, what they've done as far as his animatronic. But I mean, it'll be all finished. We can all go see it at the end of June, I believe. So we'll see in maybe a few months.
Yeah, I mean, if we could have a big finale, like Sam Eagle pops up and fireworks come down and all the American banners go.
It's a glorious 30-minute finale.
Yeah. So it's that kind of thing of, like I said, it's a very, very, very difficult thing, and it's almost that thing of, it's like even like thinking we were before we even record. It's like, well, do we do this episode? Do we not? There's always like reaction to it, but at the same time, looking at it from like it being in the middle of it, it's like, well, you can so easily see from both sides of how so difficult this decision must be for Disney.
Yeah, I mean, as a business, either way, you're gonna get affected.
Yeah.
So, not so much whereas, you're gonna lose a ton of money, but
no,
they have to make sure they respect the views of their guests. So I feel like the decision they made right now is very on the thin line. Yeah. They'll be safe either way.
Yeah, I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on this topic, so be sure to let us know. You can also find us over on all the different social media platforms. You can also follow and like and subscribe on different video platforms and audio platforms such as VidMe and iTunes. Victoria, where can they find you at?
They can find me on Twitter at HeCallsMePP and Instagram at HeCallsMePineapplePrincess.
And on that, guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Laters.
Bye, guys.